January 2026 at 01 hours. Beneath the Greenland Sea, the ice begins to groan, but not from wind. Something massive is rising. A submarine sail breaches the pack with a sound like the world cracking open. Russian shadows drop from the black sky, paratroopers vanishing into white oblivion. On the ground, American lights flicker in the storm. They don't know yet, but the line has been crossed. One false move in the endless cold, and the silence ends forever. This is the night the Arctic chose sides. The sky above the Greenland Sea stayed black, heavy with the kind of darkness that presses against your chest. At Pituffik Space Base, the radar screens flickered once, then died. Technicians stared at dead green ghosts. Kibini jamming from somewhere far north had swallowed every frequency. Outside, the wind howled at hurricane strength, carrying a new sound beneath it, low, rhythmic, like distant thunder rolling under ice. Il-76 transports, lights extinguished, skim the cloud base at barely 200 feet. Chutes opened in silence. 2,000 VDV paratroopers dropped into the void. They hit the pack ice like stones into water. Boots crunched through crust. Breath froze on balaclavas. Spetsnaz teams moved first. Shadows in white Arctica suits. Faces wrapped until only eyes showed. They carried folding S-400 launchers, radar heads, and enough ammunition to hold a line against heaven. No words passed between them, only hand signals, quick and sharp. Within minutes, the first battery was up. Domes turning slowly, scanning the storm for anything that moved. Farther out, the sea cracked open. The Yuri Dolgoruki, a Bore-class submarine the size of a city block, rose through the flow with a groan like the planet splitting. Water sluiced off the sail, missile tubes hissed open. Calibers climbed into the night, trailing white smoke, then detonated high and harmless. Blinding flashes meant to say, "We are here, and we are ready." The Americans felt it first in their bones. A Marine convoy pushed north from Nuuk. Armored Humvees, snowcats, supply trucks strung out in a fragile line. Headlights stabbed through swirling snow. Then the first Cornet missile came. A thin red line in the white. The lead vehicle lifted, flipped, and burned. Flames licked upward, defiant for a moment, then smothered by the gale. Screams were torn away before they could form. The column halted. Men spilled out, rifles up, scanning for muzzle flashes that never came twice from the same place. Beneath the surface, the real war had already begun. Yasenem submarines glided in the thermocline's embrace, that cold layer where sound bends and hides like a secret. They launched decoys, small, clever machines that mimicked the heartbeat of a full submarine. Engine hum, propeller chop, hull groan, the water filled with ghosts. American P-8A Poseidon circled overhead, dropping sonobuoy patterns in desperate checkerboards. Magnetic anomaly detectors dipped low, trailing like fishing lines. One needle twitched. A steel heart pulsed far below. The hunt tightened. In the sky, drone swarms met. Russian Orlan 10s and American Reapers collided in silent fury, wings shearing, batteries exploding in brief orange blooms. Debris rained down, frozen before it hit the ice. On the ground, the lines closed. VDV riflemen and US Marines found each other in the whiteout. Zero visibility turned every shadow into a threat. A sergeant yelled, "Friendlies!" into the wind. No reply came back except the crack of a Kalashnikov. Blood steamed on snow, then froze black. Men crawled, fired from prone, rolled behind drifts that offered no real cover. Grenades rolled across ice, bounced once and bloomed. The Arctic didn't care. It swallowed the noise, the light, the lives. It had done so for centuries. By first light, or what passed for it, the reinforcements arrived. MMI-26 helicopters, the largest in the world, thundered low over the flow edge. T-14 Armata tanks were lowered by slings, treads biting into ice like teeth. Arctic Brigade soldiers poured out, 5,000 strong, faces already masked by frost. They dug in fast. Trenches, revetments, anti-tank ditches carved by explosives and desperation. Kinjal hypersonics waited on mobile launchers, Mach 10 needles that could cross the sea in minutes. In the deep, Poseidon torpedoes drifted, nuclear-powered, nuclear-armed, patient as the tide. They didn't need to move yet. Their existence was the threat. Across the Atlantic, capitals burned with frantic calls. European leaders demanded immediate de-escalation. Washington called it naked aggression. Moscow broadcast grainy footage of US Marines on Greenland soil, overlaid with calm narration. We defend the North against unilateral force. We offer Denmark partnership. We seek only stability. The fracture was visible now. NATO's spine, forged in the ashes of 1949, began to bend. Paris and Berlin spoke of independent security arrangements. London wavered, caught between old alliance and new reality. In Brussels, emergency sessions dragged into the night. Vetoes flew like shrapnel. On the ice, the fighting never paused. A Marine fire team tried to flank a Russian outpost. They moved low, using snowdrifts as cover. A single ATGM round found them anyway. The explosion lifted 3 men off their feet. The fourth crawled back, dragging what was left of his squad leader. He reached the line, collapsed, and whispered into his radio, "They're everywhere, and they're not leaving." Beneath the waves, the subduel reached fever pitch. A Virginia-class hunter closed on a Yasin M signature. Torpedoes left tubes. Wire-guided, deadly quiet. Decoys answered. False echoes multiplied. Sonar operators cursed as screens filled with lies. Then the MAD sensor spiked. Raw, magnetic distortion. Unmistakable. The real hull. A Mark 48 ADCAP raced downward. It passed within 50 meters of the Russian sail, close enough for the water jet scream to echo through the pressure hull like a death knell. The Yasin M captain held course. No panic, no counterfire, just silence. The message was delivered. We know exactly where you are. The Americans pulled back, not retreat, reposition, but the Russians didn't pursue. They didn't need to. They held the line. They had drawn blood, and the world had seen it. By noon, the wind dropped. The sky cleared to a pale, merciless blue. Satellite imagery showed the new reality. Russian positions strung across the approaches like a chain. Tanks dug in hull down, missile batteries tracking the horizon. US forces consolidated around Nuke, licking wounds, waiting for orders that might never come. In Moscow, the television showed calm faces. "We have prevented escalation," the anchor said. In Washington, the briefing rooms were quiet. No one wanted to say the word first. Stalemate. The Arctic had claimed its price. Oil futures doubled in hours. Power grids flickered under cyber probes. Stock exchanges bled red. And somewhere under the ice, Poseidon waited, its nuclear heart beating slow and steady. The cold had always been patient. Now it had company. Men on both sides dug deeper into the snow. They ate frozen rations, drank melted ice, and watched the horizon. They knew the next move wasn't theirs. It belonged to leaders in heated rooms thousands of miles away. One wrong order, one misread signal, one missile that didn't detonate in warning. And the fracture would become a chasm. The ice would crack wider. The aurora would return, red this time, stained by fire. But for now, the night held. The wind whispered over fresh graves, and the world listened, breathless, to the sound of something breaking that might never be repaired. The cold reclaims everything eventually. It always does. But tonight, it had help.